right, we're sitting here with Cody Rosier, Walt Woodard, Wesley Thorp. My name's Jett Sharp, and today we're just going to have kind of a little roundtable discussion about how Cody got into team roping and how you got started and how you met these guys, and I'm sure we'll have some good stories along the way to talk about. Most people get started, you know, either they grew up ranching or were around team roping as a kid, or maybe buddy got them started or got started on the dummy, and it was a little bit different. I think your genesis story in team roping was a little different, how you got started. So take us back and just kind of let's start there. How'd you get into team roping, Cody?
So my wife, she told me, because I work a bunch, and she's like, hey, you really need to find a hobby. I said, okay. So my kids wanted to start barrel racing and stuff, and you know, I've been ranching my whole life, and like, hey, I think I'll start roping. That's what I'm going to do, is for team roping. So I met this guy named Larry Gould, and you know Mr. Larry. And
great guy.
so I went over to Larry's house, and I couldn't even rope the dummy. Like, it was bad. It was embarrassing. He said, hey, we're going to go to this guy's house named Walt. Would you want to go with us and take some lessons? I'm like, yeah, that's sure, why not? And so that was kind of the start. We came over to this guy's house named Walt, and I remember showed up like, oh, you must really like to rope. Like, I just completely, like, I had no clue. And he was so gracious and so nice, you know, because I'm sure, you know, just my past life with music and all, I know what it's like for people to walk up and be starstruck, and it's aggravating most of the time. And so it was pretty neat that I think he knew that I didn't know.
But it's hard to be starstruck if you don't know the guy.
If you don't know.
You know, if he's a master fisherman or two.
Got pointed you in the right direction right off the bat.
Yeah. So that was kind of the start of it, was me and Walt and his wonderful, amazing wife, Miss Darlene. She's sweet as pie.
Well, one of the things that Wesley, or that Cody did, is he brought a little horse, and he had split reins, and the horse scored great, and would just kind of cruise up there and wasn't chargy, and would just stay right there, and he could rope. And I mean, it was really impressive because, you know, when you first start out team roping, you know, everybody, not everyone, but it's easy to blow your horse up in a box.
Sure.
It's easy that he won't rape. Easy that he runs over the steer. Won't follow the steer. All the mistakes that people make. You know, my dad said that horses, that the mistake that people make is they rope them on them when they're too young. They rope too fast to steers, and they rope too many in a row. And he hadn't done any of that stuff. I mean, this little horse was really impressive.
Was it wrong?
Yeah.
He hadn't been heading on very much at that time at all.
You've seen him?
Green.
Yeah.
Green.
Yeah.
Even the horse was green.
Yeah, you know.
Both of those. Yeah.
That thing about we're going to learn together never worked.
He showed up with the same and I scored something.
Yeah, pretty nice.
Anyway, pretty nice horse.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How many times have you heard that? You know, I bought this 3-year-old and I want to start roping. We're going to learn together.
Terrible idea. Don't do this.
Had a guy had a rocket scientist the other day at roping school.
Really?
Bought a 3-year-old. He learned to rope. He bought the 3-year-old. They learned together. They successfully turned steer after roping. He's the only person that's ever done it.
Wow.
Impressive. Horses in the box too. They really
You know,
that's pretty.
Maybe the exception.
Yeah, there's an exception to the rule, but like I said, there's about 2 exceptions. That was one, and the other one was one. So.
yeah, I know guys come all the time, you know, you've had this deal, you never roped on him, and I said, man, you're going to have trouble with him in a box. Turns around the first time, stands there, and the guy looks at me like, what do you think now? That just right.
Yeah. At what part, how long did it take you to figure out, hey, maybe this guy's kind of a big deal?
Actually, okay, so I didn't know.
I got a t-shirt that says that.
I'm kind of a big
I'm
deal.
sort of a big deal.
So this is the funny part. So I came over and I roped the Walt. And I remember we were here for 2 or 3 days, something like that. And so we roped, and I remember when I was leaving, I was like, hey man, I'd love to get your number. Maybe you offered, we were talking about exchanging numbers. And so and he said, man, I think you may be okay at this. Or he said something along those lines, you may do all right at this. And I remember, so we exchanged numbers, and like, okay, cool. So I get in the truck, and they're like, man, he don't give his number to nobody, you know? I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm thinking, whatever, you know, I didn't think anything about it. Well, we roped for about 3 months, and I was driving 3.5 hours to come up here and rope. And so he said, look, I'm going to Arizona, because this was in 24. He said, I'm going to Arizona with this guy I'm going to start roping with. He said, I want you to call this guy named Tyler. I said, okay, no problem. So he gave this guy Tyler's number. So I called this guy, Tyler. I'm like, hey man, I'm supposed to come rope with you. He's like, oh yeah. So I go there, and that's when I first met Wesley. So I met Wesley and Tyler, and so I go there to rope with them, and I still, no clue. I had no idea who they were. No freaking clues. I'm over there roping, and Tyler tells me something like, yeah, okay, whatever. And then Wesley was telling me, Wesley was so freaking nice. I'm like, man, I could get along with this guy. And so he said something, okay, probably the same thing Tyler told me. But and I'm like, okay. And so we did that, and I still had no idea. And I remember I went to, I think it was called Smarties in Mount Pleasant. I think it's Smarties. Is that right? Smarties? And because I don't watch roping, I just like to rope. And I remember I'm over there trying to buy a saddle pad. And I didn't know what saddle pad. Remember this? I didn't know what saddle pad to buy. So I tried calling Walt, and he didn't answer. I'm like, dang it, I gotta call. So I called Wesley. So I called Wesley, and I'm talking to the guy at the store. And I'm like, hey man, I don't know what saddle pad to buy. What's your advice? He said, oh man, buy this best ever pad. Go over there and look at this one. So I go around there. And I remember walking up to the pad on the phone, and it's his face on the pad. I'm like, hey man. And then the guy was like, you're talking to him? I'm like, yeah. I mean, I didn't. Okay, maybe. Now I get it. And I remember when I sent a picture, he and I, the first time we met, I sent a picture to Walt of me and him together. I'm like, hey, I'm with your buddy. He's like, oh, champ. I didn't know they had just won.
What does that mean?
Yeah, like they had just won the NFR. I didn't know.
Champ or what?
Yeah, that's right. I just, people call each other champ or bud or whatever.
I thought his name was Wesley.
Yeah, and so I literally had no idea. And that's when I realized, oh, okay. Now, and then of course, then they passed me on to Chad Mathis, and that's how I met Lightning, and those are the only guys that I knew. And then there was one other suspect thing. I almost got kicked out of a roping. I never told you this story. I almost got kicked out of a roping one time because it was the very first roping. Walt said, hey, you're ready, just go. You need to just go and get exposure. I said, okay. So I went to Sulphur Springs to the Elite, I think it's called Elite Arena, and off tucked back in the woods. And I get there, and I didn't even know how to enter. So I'm like, hey, can y'all help me? And the guy that was kind of putting it on, he came over there and said, yeah, who do you rope with? And I only roped with one guy. So a guy named Walt Woodard. Called me a liar, flat out. It was like, no, you don't. You're just lying. Who do you rope with? I'm like, I don't know. That's who I rope with. I don't know.
So he was trying to classify you or something?
Right, because I didn't have a number.
So he was trying to get yeah.
So he said, who do you rope with? Walt Woodard. I didn't know.
And it's not his name.
Yeah. But that's how I kind of, when I put two and two together, when I saw the tag on the pad, I'm like, oh, maybe I should listen a little more.
What a wild start to your team roping career to be around Tyler and Walt and Wesley and Lightning, and it's a pretty crazy way to get started.
Yeah.
I think it's unbelievable that Lightning has one leg, 1 foot. I mean, and he doesn't talk about that.
No.
If I had 1 foot and I could head like that, I would tell everyone.
What's wrong with the rest of you?
Yeah, I would say, no, that I only have 1 foot. I mean, it's incredible how he has overcome that and had nothing. It seems like it doesn't hold him back at all. It's gotta be harder, isn't it?
I mean, can you imagine when you're throwing your whole rope every time, all your horse wants to do is go left, and you have nothing, you can't stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, really. I mean, so at the end of the day, like, I roped with that one roping at Waco when we were in high school, both in high school. He had just started jackpot anyway. Won like 13 open one day. He was 5 headers. He reached every time. So he stuck with it.
Yeah.
I didn't know. Somebody said, yeah, you got 1 foot. I said, who?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it really is. But I think it's crazy that he doesn't talk about it.
No, I've never heard.
That's all I'm talking about.
Right.
That's all. I think you can imagine. I'm beating you now. What if I had another foot?
Yeah. Imagine how.
Right. I'm already better than you are.
Oh, that's funny. So, you've started putting it together that maybe you were roping with some guys who were kind of a big deal. So, when did you start to realize that that's kind of not the normal experience for somebody getting into team roping?
Drew Stu.
Tell me about, you've told me the story a little bit about meeting Drew. Because I work with Drew all the time. Me and Drew have been friends for.
So I went to the BFI, and I remember I was roping, and we were sitting up in the bleachers, and the guy was down there interviewing. I didn't even know why he was interviewing me. Like, he was just down on the camera crew. And I guess because I'm used to that kind of stuff, just some of the past life, some of the things I do, that's not a big deal to me. I was like, I wonder if they've ever done an interview like a first timer, a newbie. And the guy that I was with is like, oh no, I'm sure they haven't. So I'm gonna go ask if he wants to do one. He's like, no, you're not. You better not. I'm like, yeah. Now I have to. You said no. I have to. So I bebop down there and I said, hey man, I'm Cody, so I'm Drew. It's nice to meet you. I said, have you ever done an interview with like the first time, a new guy, brand new in the roping, and he's here and catching and like, It's like, no, that'd be cool. I said, okay. So I get back there and we do one of the longest, I think from my understanding, the longest one he's ever done was 30 minutes. And we could have kept going. And he said, well, how'd you get in roping? So I told him, how I met you guys and all that. He's like, what? And you never knew? I'm like, no, I have no idea. And I remember going through that and Drew kind of explaining how that is absolutely unheard of. Like nobody does that. And for me, it was just pure ignorance. I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. And so that was, I think that was for me when I understood how odd that was.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it speaks to your personality a little bit. I think Cody's probably never met a stranger. We were telling the story about stopping at Buc-ee's earlier. And,
Yes.
And just,
yes.
So I think, and it was probably good that, you talked about people being starstruck and kind of having trouble, being a little bit nervous. So you didn't know who they were, so
Never had that. Yeah.
Might as well be buds.
I just learned what you did 3 days ago.
Where'd you get your news? Where do you get your daily news?
Oh.
It's not the team.
Not the team journal, I can tell you that.
He's gonna get caught up on the daily news.
Yeah.
So you kind of got into it backwards.
Absolutely.
100%. Started right at the top.
Yeah. Yeah, which helped because they don't let me do bad habits. So that made it nice. Yeah, and the little things that you learn. And I'll tell you this, from a coaching perspective, the guys that are teaching me how to rope, I was gonna say taught me, I still suck. But the guys that are teaching me and who I can call, it's really neat to me that I have the best of the best to call, and they're my buddies. I can call them anytime, and they're willing to help. And how everything they say is the same, it's exactly the same, but it's completely different. It's very, very interesting. I can ask him something and ask him the same. They're going to give me the exact, hey, this is what you need to do. But different ways and different approaches, and it's like, oh my gosh, just being able to hear. And so he'll tell me something I don't understand. I can ask him, he'll say the same thing, but in a different way, or then I call Chad, or I'll call, whoever. And it's pretty neat that from the best of the best, I'm getting the same message reiterated, and I'm like, well, how do you argue with that? So.
Yeah, it's funny how you can hear that same thing from different guys, but somebody will say it a certain way and it just clicks with you. Where they're all trying to tell you the same thing, but
right.
It's nice to have different guys bouncing stuff off of you, for sure.
It is easier though to help someone getting started. Walt can testify to this, when they get started the right way. If he'd been to Walt, and Walt's out of town, he comes to me, it's a much easier process than if you've been trying to give it a whirl on your own for a few months, or your local neighbor that's been open for 40 years that just kind of cruising around trying to tell you something. I'm not saying you can't learn a little something from everybody, but there's a lot of bad information you can get too. And there's it's hard to overcome that when that's part of your start. So
no, you're absolutely
when you
right.
get a foundation built, it's helped so much. No matter what professional helps you from there on out, it is night and day.
Professional ropers, kids, the reason they get so good is because they never hear anything wrong. Everything they hear is exactly right.
Well, I remember once Chad Mathis and Walt both told me the same thing. And man, they said every rope you go to, there's gonna be an expert coach on the fence. I remember that. And so I have gotten really good at saying, hey man, I got trainers. I don't need I appreciate what you're trying to do, but leave it alone.
I think everybody's like that though, because when you play golf with Cowboys,
yeah,
that's what I was
there's a number system. You're a 3, he's a 4. I know more than he's
right now.
And it doesn't necessarily.
Every Cowboy thinks he's Tiger Woods. Everyone.
Yeah.
Everybody can tell you how to play.
Yeah,
most of them are bad.
It doesn't matter who you get paired up with. You can watch the guy shaking in the woods all day, but he's still going to have something to tell you about your swing.
No. Hey, I know you didn't ask me, but hey, let me. Please don't tell me.
So the blank canvas is way easier to start with.
So much easier. It's easier to start from absolute scratch than somebody that's got too much of their own opinion or bad information.
Sure. Bad habits.
Yeah, bad habits.
Yeah.
One of the things that Cody had going for him is that he had some riding background. He had some horsemanship background. The easiest clinic that I ever did in my life was the guy wanted me to teach his polo team how to rope.
Oh yeah.
It was unbelievable how good they were, because they spent their life with the reins in one hand and an object in their other hand, following things that was moving around. They were crazy how easy it was to teach them how to rope, because they could ride.
Sure.
Not this kind of riding,
Right.
that kind of riding, changing directions. It was amazing. They couldn't dally at all.
Sure.
And I hated it. One guy from South Africa, he would catch and he'd go, "I got another one."
Just let it go.
Yeah, I hated catching it.
That part was dangerous.
Right. Yeah. He didn't like catching it. But it was unbelievable how fast they learned how to rope. Because they could rope a steer because you can get people catching the dummy on the ground.
Sure.
And then as soon as you get on the horse, it goes in.
Back to zero.
Yeah, and Cody had some horsemanship background. This little horseman. You don't just accidentally train a horse.
Sure.
You have someone that's helped you and directed you, pointed you in the right directions. That was one thing he had going for him.
Do you think that's the hardest part for a beginner, like somebody
Oh.
that's coming, just never been around it at all?
I don't like selling horses. I'm not very good at it because people won't buy the right horse. They won't buy one at 17 years old.
Sure.
They won't buy one at 15 years old because he won't pass the vet.
Oh yeah.
None of them will.
Sure.
I said 15. They're
Yeah,
not
they've
gonna
been
pass.
roped off for very long.
No.
Well, as a newbie into this thing, that's so true, because everybody I know that's a 3 or 4 wants an open caliber fire breed the dragon, but they don't know how to ride.
Sure.
And I'm like, no, why don't you go get like a 10-year-old that can only rope in the 8? That's slow, and like, go get that, Yeah. That's
Well,
true.
you
It's
sell.
frustrating.
Yeah, you sell.
It's so frustrating. I mean, because they want the pretty, the flashy, the starstruck, the big move, the whole deal. It's like you can have half the price and twice as much fun.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
It's and win. Actually win.
Yeah.
I mean, it is really not hard to teach somebody to catch a steer.
Right.
And if they learn how to ride and catch a steer, is not a hard process. Especially if something that does the same thing over and over. But you will see something that, shoot, maybe a good horse, but it's got all these moves to it and flashing, like, oh, I bought it from so-and-so. Kind of excited about it, but they can't ride it. I just got to figure him out. I just got to figure him out. It's like, why?
The thing that's frustrating to me is how fast is he?
Yeah.
How fast is he?
Yeah.
What about how good does he score?
Sure.
How much
Rate.
does he rate?
Yeah.
And you're not going to the BFI. You're not going to Salinas. You're not going to Cheyenne. I mean, and you're going right with the gate.
Oh, I know so many guys at the entry level where I'm at. Man, they're prepping like they're going to the NFR next year. And I'm like, I don't understand that. To me, that doesn't make sense. And of course,
You can't be a good 3. You got to be a good 3 before you're a good 4.
Right.
You got to be a good 4 before you're a good 5. And we're not going to go from 5 to 9. It's never happened and never did happen. You're not going to go 5 steps
Yes.
in the course of a small period of time.
I think one of the best things Walt ever said to me, and I'm gonna have to paraphrase because I don't know exactly how you said it, but I remember I was trying to do something and I said, the guys in the 14 or whatever, he's like, yeah, but you're roping. And I don't remember how you said it, he's like, just be the best 4 you can be.
Hopefully it was that cordial.
It was, I don't remember exactly.
Sometimes it's not.
but the point was like, Cody, just be the best 4. And then then they'll make you a 5. Once you become the best 4, they're gonna make you a 5. Then do the things that the 5s do, and then they'll make you a 6. Well, then do the things that the 6s do. But if you spend all your time focusing on what to do in the 14 and the open, you're never. You're chasing your tail, and that's. All the guys that I've talked to, that I deal with, and we've all heard the name of the group, they all kind of say the same thing, man, just be the best 3. Well, I was the best 3, and then because of Jett, they raised my number. And so then I'm now trying to be the best 4, And so...
The number system has been wonderful. Because I like to play golf. I really like to play. I want to play against Tiger Woods. One time it would be fun. I'd like to play against him one time. Not every day. And I want to have a chance.
And not for money, probably.
No, right. I want to have a chance to win.
Sure.
And so if I get to rope against people or play golf against people of my same handicap, then I have a chance.
Well, it's interesting because, the young guys over here, it was already you know, it was already around. You've seen the whole thing from beginning to
And it
end.
didn't work. It didn't work.
Sure.
You know, if you can, if you
Yeah,
can
it-
really rope, get in there. That's not true. That's not right.
No.
There's no fun. I went to a rope and there was a guy in Tracy, California, which is about 30 miles from where I grew up. 20 miles, beautiful arena. They had this roping on Friday night, and it was before the number system. So I would take a young horse over there. You could just kick across the arena and catch him, and you'd hold your money together, win second and fourth, and whatever it was. Anyway, I get over there one night, and it looked like there was a fight going on in the arena. There's a bunch of people over there in this arena. So I pull in there, and the guy that run the rope, he emerges out of the group and comes over there to me, and he said, "Hey man, I got these steers, I ran the arena, I'm putting this roping on, that's how I'm gonna make a living." And he said, "No one is gonna rope tonight if I let you rope." And he said, "I like you." He says, "You're a nice guy." And he said, "I think you rope great." But he said, "Those guys won't rope if you don't, if I don't do something." So I said, "Okay, what's the proposal?" He said, "They've decided to penalize you 5 seconds a rope." I said, "That seems excessive."
Yeah.
He said, "That's the only way they'll do it, is if I penalize you 5 seconds on every rope." So I roped every steer that night by both feet. My partners never broke the barrier, and I never placed. And it was probably one of the best lessons because I felt horrible when I left. I just felt bitter and
Sure.
angry. That's how people feel when they rope the best they can rope and still don't win.
Yes.
And I always justified it, well, they didn't rope him all by both feet. He's not capable of that.
Sure.
He's never caught 3 steers in a row by 1 foot.
Mhm.
And now he does today. He did today. And he got beat by 40 seconds. He's never going to come back. He's going to have the same feeling that I had.
Sure.
It was a horrible feeling.
How old were you at that
Man, I
time?
was 25, but it was
Just
great.
years
It was but it was a great thing. It was, you know, people say things happen for a reason. I can remember how bad I
Sure.
felt that night.
It was kind of eye-opening for you.
It really was. It was. I always justified it. Well, didn't reach, didn't rope everything up, but
Sure.
tried both feet on the corner, didn't deserve a win.
Yeah.
Right, and that's not right. That's not the right way.
It's been amazing what it's done for, I mean, it's been the driver for this whole thing, right? For the
Yes.
whole industry, for the horses and the
Yes.
rigs and the ropes and everything.
Roping schools.
The roping schools,
Yes.
everything, because anybody can do it, and you can do it from when you're 5 years old to when you're Earl Higgins and you're 85 years old. And it's been really, really awesome to see, I mean, just in my time being involved with it, the way it's just continued to explode because of the World Series finale and how much money a guy can, just a normal guy, that Cody Rosier can go, and he's been roping for 2 years, and he swears he's coming this year to the finale, and I'm gonna hold you to
I'm
it.
definitely coming down.
Yeah, that guys can go and win they don't have to be the best in the world, but they can win life-changing money by being the best at their level.
Right. Yeah, 100%. It's been great. And best thing ever happened to me.
Yes, sir. They still catch a lot of flack over it. It's not a perfect system, but you know, I think it's
I could be the number guy. I could number people. All you have to do is ask a guy what he wants his number to be and make him 1 number higher. You can do it. Everyone wants to be 1 number
Yeah,
lower.
everybody
Every
wants
guy,
just that much advantage,
every
right?
guy. Sure. Man, they made me a 5+, but if I had just a 4, if I was a 4+, I could.
That's funny. Yeah, you're right.
Now it's easy.
Yep.
You can do it.
You just take a poll and just
My favorite excuse is when they don't catch all the steers and want their number. You know, it's like,
Right.
it would be so easy on the other end to be like, well, catch all the steers, and then when we're too slow, look at it.
100%.
It doesn't matter what your answer is.
Right.
But that's the biggest argument. It's like, I haven't been winning. Cut all the steers.
that.
Right.
Well, your partner
Did you get
if your
beat?
partners were in a different room and they missed all the steers, but you still win.
Yeah, it's not. Did you get beat? I don't think you got beat. You beat yourself when you missed. You were already out of the
I
equation
did. If you're
there.
pulling out of the parking lot, like, we're 6 seconds off the pace today. Yeah, that's an easy excuse right there.
Right.
But we don't know.
You got to complete the course.
We really don't.
We don't know.
Well, we talked. You kind of brought lightning up a little bit, but can you tell us, Cody, about Mean Lightning?
Oh yeah, okay. I have not told you this one. This is funny. So when I went to Chad's, because y'all were leaving, and this is right after y'all won the world the first time. And well, after, I guess, how many times have you won?
Well, 3 total, but you weren't roping the first time.
Okay, I didn't know about that.
Two since I met
so
you.
3.
Some people forgot that was a little rescue, but
So 3, you won 3 times. Okay, see, there you go. I
the
don't know.
newspaper wasn't getting it.
So after you won your second one, so they were leaving to go, I guess, on the rodeo trail or whatever, and so I went over to Chad Mathis' house, and I love Chad to death, and so I go over there, and I'm kind of doing some groundwork, and just roping the dummy and playing around, and he said, yeah, a guy's coming, we're gonna rope today while you're here. I said, okay. He said, his name's Lightning. I said, okay. I know. All I know, that's a cool name.
Yeah.
Whatever. So Lightning gets there, he pulls up, he gets out of the truck. Well, Chad walked off to go do something, and so Lightning comes up and I'm roping the dummy. Well, I'm trying to be nice, like be a good guy. And I'm like, hey man, I'm Cody, so I'm Lightning. I said, very nice to meet you. I said, you need anything? I mean, do you need help roping the dummy? Me, him get you set up, or you gonna rope the dummy with me, or what? I thought he was there for lessons, I didn't know. And he just kind of laughed like, no, I'm good, it'll be okay. And so he walks off, and I went to Chad. I was like, I guess, man, he didn't want to rope with me. I don't know. He didn't want to rope the dummy. I don't know if he's gonna. He's like, did you ask him to rope the dummy? I'm like, well, yeah. I thought he's not here for lessons. No, Cody, he's not here for lessons. he's lots of Lightning Aguilera. I'm like, that's cool, I guess. So,
Sweet name.
yeah, he roping steers. Anyway, but that's how man, Lightning was asking if he wanted to rope the ground dummy with me.
Madison Baumgartner was there one day roping. There was a guy that was here taking lessons all day long. At the end of the day, he asked Madison, he said, so Madison, what do you do for a living? Madison said, I play a little ball.
A little bit of baseball.
Yes, really. He played for you. I played for the San Francisco Giants. It's the heck you do.
You never know who you're talking to.
I play a little ball.
Yeah. Hey, but talking about Lightning, be careful because this Lightning's fall got a number raised. Remember that?
Yeah.
So Lightning and Chad, I was going to open the 13 with Chad and Lightning. Lightning didn't show up. So I was like, oh, well, I'll just go draw in since I'm already entered, And so I go to draw in, and it was a James Watson's roping, and Brandy's back there working the books. I said, hey, Brandy, I need to draw in because Lightning didn't show up. She's like, okay, no problem. And she goes, put me, it's like, well, Cody, you can't draw into the 13. I'm like, why not? And she's like, well, you're a 3. And James hadn't been. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, I am a 3. He's like, no. So then I think Jett found out. I don't remember how that played out. So the next week, I get a call from the World Series guys, and they wanted to raise me. I'm like, oh, okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that, But they didn't raise me enough. I still can't draw. But
I'm sure they like
don't
that.
take that.
Yeah. If you want, make it happen. I bet they appreciated that you told them thank you. I don't think that's the usual response when they tell somebody they got their number raised.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I appreciate it. I still can't draw to the 13, so yeah. Sorry, we're out wrestling.
Yeah, that's right. We have interns. We haven't taken any for a while, but we've had several interns here. We had a kid from Japan that was raised in Tokyo, all kinds of different people. A native girl that was here. We had people from Canada, just all kinds of different people. But one of the nice things about living in Stephenville is that there's a world-class header on every corner here. And so if you want to practice, you just call somebody that's, the best header in the world, and they'll come over and rope, especially if it rains. Because I'm an indoor.
Right.
So it's
You got them
easy.
lined up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
easy to get them when it rains. If it sprinkles a little bit, you can get them. So anyway, Cody Snow was coming over and heading. That's when he was heading from Wesley. And usually healers don't invite healers. Right.
Sure.
I mean, I don't need another healer.
Right.
Right. I heal. Right. We're good. I didn't need headers. So anyway, Cody had been coming over today. So he says, hey, the only way I can come today is if Wesley needs to run 10 steers. I said, think you're at Wesley County.
That's the way to get in.
I know. So Wesley rode my horse a lot. And we've known each other for a long time. Anyway, I said, sure, bring him. So he said, oh, he just wants to rope 10 steers. And I had an intern at that time. And I had roped all morning. So Wesley showed up, and they were making some impressive things. And steers turning, Wesley was just drove about 10 steers, got done, left, and my intern said, that guy's really good. I said, yeah, he is. He's a very good roper.
Well, to give the point that you said, you know, you got a world class roper on every corner.
Yeah.
We all live 4 miles from each other. Two of the best in the world, 4 miles apart. You know. Yeah.
Hot shot everywhere.
It's kind of like music in Tennessee.
Yeah, it's like musicians in Nashville.
Yeah.
That's how the team ropers are on Student.
Yeah.
Well, Cody, tell us a little bit about when I first met you. You came to do Cowboy Church at James Watson's roping. So we've talked about how you got into the team roping. Tell us a little bit how the ministry part kind of came along with it.
So that was kind of an interesting piece. So I'm not going to go too deep into this one, but whenever I got saved, my whole deal was I didn't believe in God. If there was one, I hated him. I had a rough, horrible childhood from just losing my mother when I was young and just some of those things. And I asked God very specifically to fix 3 things in my life, and bam, the next morning I woke up, they were gone. But the deal was, if you fix them, I'll serve you the rest of my life. That was it. That was the deal. And so I didn't think too much of it. And so kind of fast forward, I've just kind of been called into ministry. And every time I go to a church to help preach or whatever, I always get sucked into praise and worship. Every time I get pulled into praise and worship.
I can't imagine what Cody is in. I don't know if you've heard Cody sing.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of amazing. I can see why that's where they want to stay.
Yeah, and, and then when they finally had a few top 40 hits on Texas charts and stuff like that, they're like, "Oh, praise and worship for you." I'm like, "Oh." Well, when I went, so there's a guy, a good friend of mine. His name's Chan Peters, wonderful guy, and you know Chan.
I know Chan.
Yeah. Oh, he said, "Take
Great, he did some work here.
That's right. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Great job.
So, see, Chan, I didn't forget to tell him hi.
There you go.
So Chan was preaching at the Athens one. He said, "Hey, will you come do praise and worship for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course. You know, I mean, y'all let me. I'm down for whatever." And so I show up and do praise and worship, and they're like, "Oh, that's good." So we did it at the next one. Well, I think it was the third one. Well, Chan couldn't show up. He said, "Do you mind preaching?" I said, "No, I don't mind." So I went and did it, and Chan was like, "Hey, I'm glad you did that because I can't do it anymore." And James was like, "Hey, I freaking loved it. Will you do it again?" And I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." So I did, I don't know, a couple of them. And then James was like, "Hey, why don't we just do all of them?" I said, "That'd be great." Well, then I preached at Chance's. And Chance said, "Hey, will you do mine?" And then I did it at Milton's, Lightning's, what is it, Lightning's cousin?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he said, "We do both." I did his at the Vegas pregame. And so he asked me to do both of his this year. So we wound up in October last year booking 40 ropings this year to preach at. And it just kind of happened. Well, what I realized, at least for me, is that calling on my life into the ministry, it's all been kind of leading up to this. Roping never was about rope. I love the team rope. It's not really that wasn't the point. Now I get to rope, but that was the purpose. And that's my new ministry and kind of my mission is, bringing it, because I want to go to church, but also want to rope.
Sure.
Well, how do we do both? And so now we preach the ropings, and now they're advertising it, and we get to do this, and so it's been really cool. But that's how it happened. I was like, "God, use me. I like to rope." Start roping. Well, then I missed church on Sunday. Guys were like, "Oh, you're not gonna go to church?" Well, here you go, buddy. And so that's kind of how that happened. And I feel like God just kind of put me there and said, "Hey, it's your time." And I'm a firm believer if God wants you to do something. I've heard people say, "Well, if he don't open the door, he'll crack a window." No, he's going to knock the door off the hinges. You won't even know the door exists. It's just going to happen. And that's how this really all has played out. It just happened. I'm kind of like the deal with the national anthem. My buddy Jett, I had no idea I didn't know what James did. I just thought he owned some steers, I didn't even know what the World Series was when I was roping it. I didn't know about Vegas. I didn't know. And I was like, here. And I feel like in some regards, not getting too much in that side, but I really feel like in some regards, God set it up in a way to keep me naive and not know. So when I go into these circles and they ask me who I know know Walt. I know Wesley. It was true. That's all I knew. And it just kind of put me into certain spots because of who I knew. People, they do that. They give you preferential treatment because of who you associate yourself with. But I didn't really understand until probably the last 30 days, maybe 45 days, like, oh, now it all clicks. Now the last 2.5 years of my life makes sense. It really wasn't about roping. All of this was for a point, but I got to make some cool friends along the way. Because here's what Wesley don't know what I do. He doesn't know what I do.
I don't know what you do either.
Half the time I don't know what I do.
I know you preach and I know you rope, but that's about
Yeah.
all. And I don't know if you want to get into that side of it at all, but I mean, I would be interested sometime to know what you do.
Man, I own several companies. We're in 32 countries. We've got people everywhere. I own one of the largest safety firms in the U.S. We've got a construction company, a trade company, a piping company, plumbing. I mean, it's plus I got the ranch, plus 6 kids, plus staying,
And grandkids.
and a grandkid.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
yeah. I know I look way too young to have a grandkid. Yeah, nobody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
aged a little since last time.
Thank you. I feel like the wisdom's coming out in the white. I told my wife, she said, "You're starting to get a little white." I said, "No, that's the whitening in my toothpaste." Well, then it started to spread. She's like, "Hey, what now?" So, "Well, I'll wash my face, you know." But yeah, so from a business perspective, we have a large reach. I've got 3 goat ranches and a chicken ranch in Africa now. So that's part of our ministry over there. So just I've kind of got my hands in a lot of stuff. Then I'm at a roping every weekend somewhere. Plus the preaching, plus doing my music stuff. So I just, what they say, no rest for the weary.
We need a chicken ranch.
Well, I've really enjoyed getting to hear you preach and stuff, because that's one of the hardest things for me, being gone at roping all the time and not being able to be in churches. It's really a struggle for me, and it's been really a blessing to me for you being there. And actually, sometimes it's hit or miss. We'll have, this cowboy preacher, but it's been great to have you, and we've been actually doing a study and kind of a series and working through it. And it's more like, it's not, oh, let's just get together, we'll sing a couple worship songs and pray and we'll go rope. No, we go there with the intention to have church. And
if you remember in our board, we had people that had been to all the parts of the series. I did a 3-part series, and I didn't figure anybody would hear it, so I was trying to figure out how to write the sermon to where it would it would still make sense. And I was like, how many of y'all been there? There were people that were there. And then we went to one in Glenrose, and there were some people that came to church that didn't rope. They knew I was preaching, and they literally came just for church. And we had over 60-something people. I can't remember. Hamilton, we had a bunch. Athens, we had a bunch. Ardmore, we had pretty good. Anyway, so it just kind of keeps growing. But that's how I got into that, and it's been fun. It's been a blessing, I'll tell you that.
that's for me too. I don't know, I think we kind of covered just about everything we had here on our notes. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about? Any questions you had for these guys or for me?
Yeah, so I do have some questions. One of the things that I want to talk about, what people, and even me, I still don't know, how important it is to have a dedicated singular trainer and coach. It is so important, and you do lessons, Chad does lessons, but one of the things that I found is, and I see these people, they watch all these videos and they go to all these different people and they're pulling from it, and there's some good in that. There's some good in that. But I remember when I went, and I told you the same thing, I want to train like Mike Tyson getting ready for a fight in 6 months. Like I want to slow it down. I want to, do all I really want to kind of get in there and do it right.
But I'd say to get your heart rate down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Outside the box, you get after that. Don't think about Mike Tyson. Because you're going to blow through the barrier and pass the cat.
Yes, yeah. But
Anyway.
not enough people, I think, put how important it is to have a legitimate trainer. And you started doing the thing that I want to talk about, and I saw it. Somebody who told me that. Somebody told me the other day that you were doing something about a phone.
Mobile coaching.
Yeah, mobile coaching.
Yeah, so to me, I always look at everything back when I was a kid, right? And I'm like, if I could call Walt, or I could call Chan, or I could call Tyler Magnus, and which the call and the text is different. It's more expensive to call, but the text is not a lot. If I could get a little bit of an update throughout the year of just what my progress is or what people think, and I could send that in, I would have thought that was the coolest thing in the world. Like if I had access to that, because I mean, and not to mention, some people do live around here. They can can rope for half a day or a couple hours, and they can book it. But I mean, I didn't live too far out of the picture. I could come down here to Tyler's or Speed's or somebody not too far. But a lot of kids, live in Idaho or California or Arkansas or whatever it is, and pretty expensive to load up and get somewhere. And most people that are pretty into getting better, they want every information they can. So I just the mobile thing where I set it up and you can book certain dates over the month.
Yeah.
And they can just kind of keep up with their progress. And I haven't promoted it a ton, but everybody that's done it has been a repeat customer. Like the same group has kept doing it. And I was like, I just based it on like, man, I would have loved. I talked to Walt a couple years ago, but I tried every little way in the book to set it up cool, and I tried to set it up through a app. And I tried, and finally I'm like, screw it, make it simple. I got an easy way to book it on a calendar online, and then it's through. I have another phone that's set aside just for that, and they take all that comes to there, and I go back to them, let them ask questions, and it's pretty simple. But I always thought it was something that would be awesome to have when I was progressing.
Yeah.
What people don't realize is that pro guys do that with one another, right?
Yeah.
When you send your videos to somebody, say, hey, what do you think of this?
Absolutely.
What do you see? I mean, so that people do that.
Yeah.
Right? That's a great idea. And you're doing it. Because you talked to me a long time ago about it, a couple years ago about it, but I didn't see much about it.
I just actually start because I set it up through the app the first time.
Yeah.
It's every way just seemed complicated. I'm like, make it simple. I mean, make it easy. Make it to where somebody can done.
Like, now with AI, it's pretty easy.
And I had people like that would come to the schools want to text me,
Yes.
look at my video,
Right.
and it's on your main phone. You feel like you're not responding right. I'm like, let's separate it all together. Give them one phone that they can send it to, book it, pick time slots. It's for that. They don't feel bad. Nobody feels bad to reach out. You're charging them. You're charging a fee.
Right.
But it's also fair
And
enough
you
where
should-
they're like,
should-
it's not
Well,
much.
that's a great idea.
And so I just started doing it, I guess this year, January.
Awesome.
From a beginner's perspective, why it's so important to have somebody like that, and what you're doing is freaking awesome, because there's so many things, there's so many levels to this. As Western culture men, we just, as a group, there's a lot of pride. There's a lot of things we don't want to say we don't know. There's a lot of things that we're not willing to say we suck at or fail at. And I'm not a smart guy, but I do know this. Every human on the planet, if you lay out the list of things you're great at and the list of things you're horrible at, this list is always longer. The things you're horrible at is always a longer list. And so if you have that group, kind of like when I call you, hey man, I don't even know how to enter. Like, you told me to come, I'm here, I don't even know what to do. Like, ask somebody, I didn't even know what I didn't know. And then, what pad do I use? But if you have that group of guys and you have to enter into that, like, hey, like I consider Walter a friend. I consider you a friend. But when you enter into that, even though they're your friends or whatever, you have to be subject to them and put yourself kind of as a student in their tutelage. You can't just be there and be like, hey, they're my friend, I'm gonna talk to them, and if they say something mean, now I'm mad at them. No, you need them to say things to you that are like, hey man, you suck at that. Like, what are you thinking? Like, what, and I remember Travis, we were over here one day, and I remember I went and it was just falling apart. And Miss Darlene actually walked outside because I was like, Miss Darlene, you should come watch me. I'm getting better. And then everything just fell apart. Like it was not better. And so, Travis actually said, what did you think about when you ran that last year? Man, I was telling him all these things. He's like, Cody, just wrote the bastard. I'm like, oh. And then everything kind of clicked and went. But just not having that consistent group of people, it doesn't matter who it is, but pick
I don't have trouble getting lessons. I like lessons.
Yeah.
I mean, I like someone helping me shoot my shotgun.
Yeah, sir.
I like someone teaching me how to play golf. I spent my life doing something else, and I'm running out of time. I want to shorten the learning curve.
Yes,
So why
sir.
wouldn't I go to a professional
That's right.
and have him help me with something that I enjoy? I don't see why people, and I disagree with one person. I think you should go to different. I think
Sure.
you should go to this guy. If you go to a professional golfer, you're not going to get bad advice.
No.
You're going to get good advice.
But like we were talking about earlier, somebody may be telling you the same thing, but it just the way their delivery or the way they break it down makes that light bulb click.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. When I was starting, I went to, I would try to go to different clinics or talk to different guys and, make it make sense. Some of it would be over my head, but then the other guy could tell me, and it just the way he said it works with the way my brain works.
And that's valid, because if anybody watches this, I want to make sure I explain that, and I agree with what you're saying. I said, stay with that one person. The reason that to me that's important is because you're going to go deeper.
Yeah.
It's the thing that, you know, if I just came to a lesson with Walt and I never talked to him again, I'm going to learn some great stuff. And then I go to Wesley's, I'm going to learn some great stuff. Then I go to Chad's or, you know, whoever, I'm going to learn some great stuff. But if I don't have that core group of guys to be like, hey man, that I don't understand. Or I get home and I'm thinking about it and I don't have the 1-800 call Wesley for help, you know, you don't have that. But if you can find that one or two, that group of guys that you can go deeper and deeper, especially, you know, pro level, 7, 8, 9 header, you know, the bigger and better guys, if you have that group to just go deeper. And I guess that was kind of my point is.
No, I get that. Have you had people come to you and say, oh, I went to this guy and I didn't like it. He run that guy down. If they do that, they'll run you down.
Yeah, same.
They'll run you down.
Sure.
They
go to the
most of
next
the
guy.
times what happens is they didn't want to change something.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted you know, comfort in what they were doing.
Right.
They wanted
Validation.
Yeah, validation in
Yeah.
what they were doing. And a lot of times that's what it is. They want, hey, tell me what I'm doing is right.
Right.
Maybe add one thing. Tell me what I'm
Yeah.
doing right. And, you know, sometimes it's like, whatever we do, let's sell that horse first.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'll get you an email every day. I asked him one time, so what do you think about my horse? I said, he doesn't score. He won't rate. You can't stop the steer. He lunges when he pulls. Then he jumps up and down like a rabbit after the run. I hate it. Send me an email. I mean, it wasn't an opinion.
That's funny.
Those are all things that he didn't do well, right?
No, I know. You're right.
And
Most of the time,
people say, I went to this guy and I never learned a thing. That would be impossible.
Sure.
If you went there for 2 days and he was around a world-class roper for 2 days and he never spoke, you would have to learn something.
Just by watching them.
Nothing.
Yeah.
most of the time,
Just through osmosis.
is what I've learned is they think, oh, I know how to do that, or oh, I know how to do that. I know how to do that. And I just want to know about that.
Yeah.
I didn't come here for all that. I
I
just
just
came
want
here
to
for this.
everything's good. I just want to throw it faster. No.
All these steps are important
And
to
what's
get
the
to where you
secret?
want to go.
Yeah.
What's the secret?
If they can't do it slow, they can't do it fast. I mean, if they can't do the
Yes.
if they can't see the position and stay in the position slowly, they can't do it fast. So even the ones that want to get faster and they're already trying to be fast, you know, I make them go back the other way before they can do it.
100%. The guy says, well, how come you want me to throw it on the corner? I said, because you're on the wrong side and you're out of time.
If you catch, it's going to be
Yeah,
wild.
you're on the wrong side of the street, you can't see the steer, and you're dead at it.
So that brings up a great question. And I think we maybe dug in there somewhere. But what makes a great student?
I think admitting ignorance for the most part, really,
Yeah.
is not, it goes just back to the humility, like not being afraid to ask a question at all. Like, you
Right.
know, no matter how stupid you think it's gonna come out, like us knowing
Mike, I want to
someone's,
fill out the entry card.
well, like us knowing someone's thought process is almost more important as what we can see. Like, we gotta know what you're thinking. And if you're thinking, well, this is how I do it when I score, this is how I do it when I leave the box, this is what I'm trying to do. You know, whoa, wait a second. Like, don't even worry about that. Like, we got to do this. Don't even think about the other.
Right.
Let's do this first. I mean, I had a guy come, a high-level healer come to the house one time. He's like, so when I tweak my angle here, we're looking over here, right? I mean, you know, when I tweak my angle here and my rope does this, and then that happens, and we get to, and I'm like,
Whoa.
the run's over here.
Right.
That like,
I've noticed your problem already.
yeah.
You've got
That's what's throwing you off.
Let's take off all those problems and let's
Yeah.
focus on this problem. And so anyway, I think just truly admitting your thoughts.
And why wouldn't, I mean, you spend your life learning some other skill, developing a business. You're not supposed to be a professional.
Yeah.
Why would that be hard? Why would that be so
Yeah.
hard?
I mean, the worst thing I can do is come to you and say, hey, Walt, I need your help, but I want you to tell me what to do.
No, you're right. I mean, I'm not going to say who it was, but it was one of the greatest lines of all time. Is a guy who went to a guy that's putting on roping schools, and the guy would not listen. And finally he told him, he said, I would have never come to the school if I thought he was going to try to change my style. And my friend said, for another $50, I won't speak to you at all. That's one of the greatest lines of all time. What a
That's
crazy
funny.
thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
If
funny.
I thought he was going to try to change me, I'd have never came here.
So what about you, Walt? What do you think makes the best student?
Like you said, being humble. I went and took a fly fishing lesson one time, and they asked me, there was these 5 fly rods. And they said, which one feels the best to you? I've never felt a fly rod. So I picked the purple one. I like purple.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, that was it. No idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So why, based on your age, based on your strength, here's the one you should start. This is the one I started with when I was starting to fly fish. This is what I think. Great. I need direction. I have no idea what I'm doing. So why would that be such a hard thing for people to do? And I don't think so. I think when people come, they are humble. They want help. Right?
Yeah, I think 90% of the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Really, I think you can see it nowadays. People want, with, like you said, the number, World Series getting bigger, more opportunities are in the industry as a whole. The open schools are like crazy.
Yes.
There's not enough people that can help people.
I agree.
There's not.
Yeah.
Everyone, normally it's all put together, and if you're 3 short, you put something on Facebook, it's done in 5 minutes. And then there's not enough people out that are qualified to help the people that need help. Really.
Right. No, I agree.
So.
I think for me, and again, y'all know this better than anybody. I'm so ignorant to all of this, but for me, out of all the opens I've been to and all the things that I go to, I enjoy the World Series, the WSTR stuff. I enjoy it so much more because it's very consistent. You have a World Series, everybody talks about it, World Series start, World Series. You pretty much, when you go, you know what you're going to do. You're always going to have some cattle that are a little different or whatever, but the people, I've never had a bad experience with the people. I've never had a bad experience with the cattle. You have, they're cows, you know what I mean? But it's usually good people that show up. They're, to me, of all the ones that I go to, as just a number 4 entry level guy, those they're just always good because you can go, like if you're opening the 10, you're going to be there on the same day where they might have the 13, maybe, probably not, but sometimes they'll have the 14 and the 10 on the same day. And so you can get there a little early and talk to people and ask questions. And if you're humble and genuinely eager to learn, they'll help you. They'll tell you things. And
Most people.
So, because we didn't do this at the beginning, so we talked about me. I'm a businessman, pastor, a dad, musician, African goat rancher, chicken farmer. I'm sure there's other things that I do. But we didn't go around and introduce ourselves. So, Walt, you want to introduce yourself?
Walt Woodard.
900-time world champion.
Wesley said something that was funny, is that when I was roping Clay Tryon, I roped him at the NFR, and we won the go-down. And the guy that was doing the interview said, what is it like for you to head for the 1981 World Champion? He said, I wasn't born then. Doesn't mean anything. I wasn't even alive.
That's
So,
funny.
that's a great thing to say.
Yeah, well, okay, so I got to tell a funny story. So I was sitting in bed, I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago, I was sitting in bed and I'm watching YouTube shorts and randomly the team roping thing popped up. Well, most of the time I'm watching like Westerns or whatever, and it was an old, from like the, 70s or something, a team roping short from the NFR. And so I'm watching it, and I'm laying in bed like, hey, it's Walt! And I said that to Miss Darlene in that video, but do you remember what year that was?
I don't know. Do you watch old? I don't watch old.
I watch some old.
Because y'all
You see some stuff pop up.
I don't study old cars.
Because y'all won the round.
I was like that.
There was one from Salinas popped up the other day that was cool. Just cool to watch.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I seen it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Come out of the wooden shoes.
Yeah, no, it was
The short
great.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because y'all won the round with like 6-7 or something at the NFR.
That was really good. But young guys talking about studying team roping from the 80s.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
What are you doing?
We're not even talking about the same sport.
No.
Yeah.
It's like I study a Rolls Royce. Right?
A new one.
Yeah, a new
Yeah,
one. Study
yeah.
that. But
That's right.
I'm studying old film. Just so you know who it was. But the technique is not even remotely the
Yeah.
same.
So, Jett, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Jett Sharp, and I'm event manager for World Series of Team Roping and USTRC, and I announced quite a few opens. And
And you're good at it.
I like doing it. I enjoy it, and my dad, and
you won't
got
let me
two
buy you
great
something.
kids. You are over trying to buy me something. Maybe tonight.
Yes.
Could be tonight.
And so, what does that mean to be an event coordinator?
I do all the scheduling for all of the qualifiers that happen around the country. Do all quality control with the producers, and kind of if anybody's upset, I take all of the butt if they're mad enough, they wind up. I'm just kidding. No, I really enjoy my job, and it's been a blessing. I announced for a lot of years, and then I ranched at home, and I had a feed yard and stuff, and it was just being gone all the time and trying to keep stuff going at home was tough, and my kids were getting older, and I called up Johnny Johnson. I said, "Man, Johnny, I think I need a job. I think you guys need to hire me full time. I know there's something I can do for you. I've been around a lot." I said, maybe you need some help in classifications. And he goes, "Oh, I would never do that to you. You're not going to do that." But anyway, so I get to work from home or wherever I'm at, and it's just been really great. And I get to help put on the U.S. Finals and the World Series finale and produce some ropings for the company during the year. And I found out a long time ago. I was telling Walt, I grew up showing cutting horses, and when I was like a senior in high school before I team roped, and I fell in love with the clock. Yeah. And I just never looked back. I knew I was going to have a career in the sport. I didn't know what it was going to be, but I just really love the industry and the people that I get to be around. And
That's cool.
It's been really, really good for me.
So 3-time world champion. That's not 2.
That's right.
It's 3. Did I even say that? I'm pretty sure I said 2 at the beginning of this because I didn't know you
Maybe,
had 3.
I don't. A lot of people don't remember.
So did you actually believe that I had no idea who you were?
Yeah, I thought you were pretty sincere. Yeah, I did.
Did it
When you called and said, "What pad should I use?" Wait, why are you on the pad? I think he means it, right? I don't think he's playing dumb here. I think he means it.
Yeah, there was no ulterior motive. I really just thought you were a nice guy.
Yeah. No, so I it felt genuine.
Yeah. So I guess introduce yourself, what you do.
Wesley Thorp, I rodeo professionally. I have a few other interests that I'm involved in, but I've got kids. I had a wife and kids, and they get to go with me all the time, year
That's
round.
cool.
So
That's
it's been fun. But I've always dreamed of doing it. I mean, I grew up as a little kid, looking up, watching the best guys in the world, and was kind of fascinated with that lifestyle. And I just looked up to those guys. Like I wanted to do what they were doing, and Walt. I got to buddy with him actually. It's my second year rodeoing ever.
Really?
Buddy with Walt. He let me ride his horse. I was the only guy to ride his horse. At that time.
Well, his horse got stuck at the
My horse got stuck in the border in Canada, and
They rode him like 6 times, and won first time 5, the second once, and I said, "Wesley, that's enough.
Yeah, my horse back.
We need to get your horse back.
Yeah.
The United States and get him back in Canada. That's enough right there."
Yeah.
I don't do a whole lot, or I feel like I'm in the middle of it, so I don't do a ton of reflecting. But looking back, it's so cool to see some of the things and the ways it's progressed.
Yeah.
Just because I always wanted to live this lifestyle, and I was told at a young age, you can't make a living doing it. These guys are having heck making it work and all the things. I mean, I think is what you find is the guys that want to make it work found a way. There's a way. Sometimes it involves work and things that are outside of what you think you have to do that the job entails. But there's cool opportunities in the sport, in this lifestyle. And it's been better to me than I ever could have
One of the
dreamed.
best healers in the world the other day told me, if you can't make a living now, team up me, you don't really good enough.
Yeah. Well, it's true. I mean, it's.
Well, something you said at y'all's level, and it's a job.
Oh yeah.
It's your job. So you said kids. How many kids do you?
I have 3 kids. I have 2 boys and a little girl. They're 8, 7. One's about to be 9, and then 1.5.
Okay. So how many kids do you have?
Girl and boy, they're 11 and 9.
We have 1 son, but we have 2 grandchildren that are really athletic.
apple of your eye.
Well, they're amazing.
I have 6 kids. Pick an age. I've got 1. Did you know that?
Yeah, I mean,
Did you know-
when you said 6,
Yeah, 6 kids. So I have 5 daughters. They're not available, and I have 1 son. He's 4, and that's my buddy. That's my buddy.
Good.
He get to come on this trip. That's my.
Awesome.
Well, thank you all so much.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you coming.
Not so much. Thank you.
Hope you had fun. I hope it was worth your time. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. Oh, and that average tooth thing, though. I had to go with a small one.
Oh, well, very good. Win some, lose some.
Boy, it got out.
All right, thank you.